Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Hope you're all really good. I'm in the kitchen, I'm going to do some cooking. I'm super excited because I'm trying something new, but I'm also really trepidatious. Oh. I wouldn't say I'm not adventurous about food. My food is very simple. I know what I like, and there's only a couple of vegetables in the world that I don't like, including sweet corn. Just don't get on with sweet corn. But today's vegetable means I need to play with these. Why have you got rubber gloves, Vivi? I've got my rubber gloves because today, let me just pick them up in the colander, I'm going to be making my first ever, can you see that? I'm just looking on the screen to make sure you can see it. My first ever nettle soup. Ah! So, ingredients. I've just absolutely flooded the kitchen doing that. Ingredients, really simple, like all the soups I do, 4 or 5 ingredients and that's it. On the stove already I've got bubbling away a large white onion that's chopped and a couple of cloves of garlic. So I'm sort of following a recipe that came from the Ministry of Food, which was the branch dealing with food and eating during the Second World War, when sort of the idea of nettle soup was somewhat revived because it's free and it's good for you. So the recipe says to sweat down your onions and garlic in butter. I don't use butter, excuse me, I'm so excited. I don't use butter, so it's just in some olive oil, so they'll sweat down for about 5 minutes. I also have 1 largish, sort of size of my hand, chopped potato. That's just going to help thicken it. Some stock, a litre of stock, and according to the recipe, a half a bag of stinging nettles. Well, how big is a bag? Actually, I didn't weigh them, maybe I should, but basically the colander is full of them and it's about as much as will fit into the pan. All I've done is gathered the freshest of the new tips, taken the leaves off with my rubber gloves on, discard the stalky bits, that's fine, they go back in the compost bin. Washed them really thoroughly, and then once the potatoes have got going, the nettles will be added towards the end of the cooking time. I'm just going to see how the onions are getting on. They're sweating away nicely. I think sweating is the word, I don't know. Talking of sweating, today's going to be the hottest day of the year so far. Here we are at the end of March, and finally the sunshine has come. Yay! The ground's going to get warmed up, we're going to be able to sow seeds. I can't wait. I'll be going down to the allotment later, but for now I'm going to just focus on this cooking. I have no idea how it's going to taste. I think probably something akin to spinach from the smell of the leaves as I'm preparing them. They're really dark green, so even the newest of the new tips. So in terms of picking them, there's a massive clump quite near me, put my teeth in. There's a massive clump near me here in London, but it's at the entrance to a park, and I know it's a park that's popular with dogs. So I'm thinking, where the bushes are still quite low, where the new tips are coming, they're probably going to get a load of pee on them, and foxes. So even with a really thorough washing, I don't really want to be eating food that's being peed on by every dog in the neighbourhood. So these have been gathered from my great aunt's garden, which is, her garden is completely enclosed. As far as I know, no foxes get into her garden. I've never seen any evidence of them. Certainly no dogs. The only little bits I had to avoid were the patches where the seagulls have pooed. Great blobs of seagull poo everywhere. Anyway, so I've gone for the cleanest part of the patch I can find. Just snipped off maybe the top sort of 6 to 8 inches of the plant, brought them home, and as I said, I've just taken all the leaves off and given them a really good wash. Just on the point of washing your veggies, just bear in mind, actually we'll come back to that thought because I'm just going to get these spuds and the stock in. I'm really down to the last few of my onions now, and to cook a recipe that I don't know whether I'm going to like using my precious last few onions. I hope this works. I hope I like it. I've got about enough onions to last me until I think about the end of May, and when you think the next ones won't really be getting harvested until middle of July. I suppose I can have some little ones out before then. I've actually just got the onions in now, which is quite early for me, so maybe there'll be some tiddlers I can pull out and have away before the before this lot in the kitchen run out. Okay, so the onions and the garlic sweated off for about 5-10 minutes. The potatoes gone in, as has the stock, so I'm going to let that all now simmer for about 10-15 minutes just till the potatoes soften, and then we can add the star of the show. I've run out of potatoes, so I actually had to buy a potato, which is really annoying because otherwise this meal would have been free. So I was talking about washing your veg. A lot of our veg, one of the great things that we're getting from them is our vitamin C. Yay! We all know about vitamin C. It's great for our immunity, but it's a water-soluble vitamin, which means you put it into water, the water leaches the vitamin out. It also means that our body can't hold on to it, so ideally you should be replenishing your vitamin C every day. But what that means when you're washing and prepping your veg is please don't leave your veg soaking in a bowl of water. Get them cleaned as quickly as you can and out of that water to retain as much of the vitamins as you can. It's another reason I like cooking soups, because anything that leaches out is still in the stock, so I'm going to get it all. So nettles comes up for breath. I'm so nervous about doing this, and I was thinking about it this morning. I was thinking, why am I so nervous about it? And maybe there's that somewhere deep-seated psychology of the sting, because we've all done it. We've all, as kids and as adults, fallen into a nettle patch and been stung to billy-o and desperately scrabbled around looking for a dock leaf to bruise and put the juice on the sting to take the sting away. Is it also because they're a weed, we see them as a weed? Is it because they're grown in a place that isn't under our control, because they're growing wild? I don't know, but I'm a little bit tentative. However, it's got to be worth a go because, you know, it's free food. I'm not going to sniff like free food. And they have wonderful, wonderful properties. So, way before the Second World War in nettle soup, nettles were known as being a blood tonic. So even before people understood the science of it, people used nettles, like I say, without understanding the science, but they would see the good effects. It's really great for fatigue. Why? Because of the high concentration of iron in them. This blood tonic I'm talking about, they have vitamin A and iron. Vitamin A is great for our bones and skin, our vision, our night vision in particular. The thing about vitamin A is it helps to stimulate the production of white cells in your blood, and the white cells are the ones that fight off all the bad guys. So, you know, you've got good white cells, you're going to fight off those colds and bugs and whatever else. The iron, think about our other blood cells, our red blood cells, our hemoglobin, our iron in our blood, that's what, your red blood is what carries the oxygen around your body. So if your red blood cell count is low, anemia, you will feel fatigued, you may even look a bit pale, generally not be in tip-top form. So yes, it's a blood tonic. Loads of iron, loads of vitamin A, loads of vitamin C, a few other trace minerals too. So all in all, it's actually a really, really good foodstuff. Whether it tastes any good, that's a whole different matter, isn't it? Anyway, this has all got to bubble away for a little while, so come back in 5-10 minutes and join me. We'll get the nettles in. Once they're in and I can actually start to smell the smell that's coming out of the pan, I'm going to have a good idea of whether this is something I want to put in my mouth or not. Eek! Got to give it a go though, haven't you? Okay guys, I'll see you in a minute. So, the potatoes and the onion have had about 15 minutes to bubble away. So now it's time to add our gorgeous nettle tops. I'm going to put my rubber gloves back on because I don't want to get stung. Oh, I've never cooked. Oh no, I was going to say I've never cooked in rubber gloves, but I do sometimes wear them for handling the beetroot. So let's see now. I mean, with the colour of them, they just look like they've got to do you some good. I often think that about veggies and the food we eat, that, you know, we're told to eat a rainbow of colours every day. And when you look at the colour of these guys, you think, that's got to be doing something to me, some good. Oh, what I didn't say earlier actually about nettles is that they're also quite a good source of protein. Now, the thing about protein from plants is you can't get your full chain of amino acids. You don't get a complete protein from any one single plant. So if you're vegetarian or vegan, you do need to think about how you combine. So you'll often hear me talking about eating beans with a grain. So I eat a lot of my beans with rice to complete that chain. Now, what I don't know with nettles at the moment, I haven't really done a huge amount of research because if I don't like them, they're not going to be on my diet. Let's just bring you guys back up here a sec so I can talk to you. Yeah, so what I need to do is find out what kind of protein I'm getting and then for what I need to combine it with to make it a complete chain. So for example, where I've put the potato in to thicken it today, because I'm following this wartime recipe, if it turns out that say a grain would be the best thing to combine, then what I could do is instead of the potato, I could do it with something like pearl barley. That would give me that nice thickness, but most importantly, it would give me a complete protein. So I'm going to let that simmer for, I think probably only about 5 minutes. I think rather like sort of spinach and those sort of leaves we use, that they're going to wilt. It's kind of pretty much warming them through really. So we'll give them 5 minutes. And hopefully after 5 minutes their stings will be done and I can start blending it and having a taste. Oh! So I'm just going to whiz up the very last batch. Please, if you can hear the helicopter in the background, ignore it and ignore this noise too. Let's give it a whiz. Look at the colour. It's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Oh my giddy goodness. It's so beautiful. Wow, 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 wow. I can't wait to get my laughing gear around this. Look at that. Alright, let's give it a little stir through and give you guys a look. I don't know if you can make, I'm going to just, oops, move the camera. Have I got somewhere I can balance the camera so you can see? Oh, it won't quite go. Look, there it is. Let's just give it a, oops, give it a bit of a stir through. Wow. That has got to be one of the most beautiful colours of a soup ever. Right, time to test and see. The cooking should have stopped the stings. I'm just going to get a spoon. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, as with all my my recipes, I don't add any salt or pepper. The plants take up plenty of salt as they're growing, and I just think you can do those things to taste afterwards, because if everyone's got a different taste, you can add your own to your own bowl. I feel like I need to be dared to do this. Go on, everyone shout out now. Go on, Vivi, dare, yeah? Okay. Oh my God. That is gorgeous. I'm trying to find some words to describe the taste. Please don't worry about the double dipping. I'm having a lot of this, so I'm not going to poison someone else with my spit. Is it stupid to say it tastes green? It does taste green. What's odd, in a way, like the pea pod soup, there's a slight, what's that taste quality called? Is it umami? I can't remember. That you would get from, say, something like mushrooms. Oh, that is so worth it. I am so pleased I've tried that. I'm obviously going to go and scoff a load in a minute. I've got a tiny bit of leaf that I'm chewing on here. There's no stings. I'm delighted with that. That's basically a free meal. I had to buy the spud, but that's last year I hardly grew any because I was thinking I don't really use them. I am doing a few more this year. It's a bit of a naughty one because obviously the nettles are coming up now, and now is the time when you probably don't have many potatoes left in store or onions left from last year's harvest. But I think that potato cost me about 25p. There's 4 portions of soup there. That's really, really good. I might actually try it next time with the sweet potato rather than a white potato, because the sweet potato's got a lower glycemic index, keeps your energy going longer. I might, like I say, try it with something like pearl barley, or even with rice as a thickener instead of potato. I'm chuffed. Really, really chuffed with that. Yay! Just before you all go, I just want to give one slight word of caution. I don't know of any research paper that's actually looked at it specifically, but if you're pregnant, I would probably stay away from nettles, because historically they've been used to bring about labour in women who are overdue. It is thought that that nettles can help to induce uterine contractions, plus letting milk down. So I would just say, if you're pregnant, unless you speak to a qualified nutritionist, whatever, please don't touch your nettles. Same for nettle tea. If you're not pregnant, get stuck in, because it's surprisingly gorgeous. And I'm going to call that my green velvet soup. That's yum. I'm going to have a little play with it with the other ingredients, but that's a new soup for me. That's going in the book. Green velvet soup. So I'll say cheerio for now. See you guys next time. I don't know, probably in the garden, maybe in the kitchen again, but we'll catch up soon.